Hey, what's up guys? It's Jamie. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. I'm going to be taking you guys through how to plan your own content schedule. Now, I say how you can plan your own content schedule because instead of just going, hey, you should write these posts on this day for these reasons, I think it's more important for you to take a deeper dive into what is going to work for you and ultimately what you're trying to accomplish from the content that you're putting out to your audience to both attract your audience and help promote whatever it is that you are promoting. Now, before I dive into any of this stuff, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Jamie Gardner. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer and high-ticket coach. I run a program called the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind and a Facebook group with around about 5,000 people in it at the time of recording, where I basically teach a lot of this stuff for free. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, and there should be a link below if you'd like to join my group to see what I'm all about and how I've been able to help over 900 students smash it through high-ticket affiliate marketing. I don't know why I did that. So my channel is probably a little bit different than what you might be used to. There's a couple of fancy videos. There's a few shorts out there. Realistically, what I prefer to do is just hop on and just like go off the top of my noggin with, obviously in this case, the guide of a pre-written doc in this case. A little bit goofy, a little bit zany, know my shit. I've helped a whole bunch of people out, so hopefully you guys want to stick around. Right, so in order to establish a content schedule, we're going to go back in time to the dawn of time, not that far. But anyway, we're going to go back in time a little bit. And what we need to really consider is, first and foremost, if we're promoting an offer of some kind, obviously I've got a high ticket affiliate offer, it could be a coaching offer, it could be anything that you're promoting at all, could be services, could be agencies, could be, doesn't really matter what the deliverable is. But what you need to think of is what belief shifts need to be in place in your prospects, in your leads, in the people that you're attracting into your world in order to get them to go, I like the cut of his jib. I'm going to buy some stuff. Here's some money, right? And so if we lay that out, now forgive the jokes, I do tend to goof around a lot, but this is some serious stuff. If we take the essence of what we're trying to achieve in terms of what we're communicating for people to go, you know what, that is awesome. That is going to solve all of my needs, and I need that thing right now. What needs to go in place, right? So that's what we're going to look at first, and then I'm going to get into the nitty gritty about some of the things you want to include in your copy, and we can race on from there. So now, basically what it stems from is if we've done our homework right, we are going to start building our business, even if you're an affiliate, bear with me here, from your offer, okay? So the offer sits at the top of your mountain. It's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for your sales process, a lot of heavy lifting for your content, all that type of stuff, right? And it's basically how it solves problems for people. Now, for the affiliate marketers, especially if you are relatively new to affiliate marketing and you're going, Jamie, I'm not ready to create my own offer yet. Well, I've got some news for you, because if you are just taking your link, now I'm going to assume that this is a little old link right here, and I'm going to hide the brand just in case I get sued by the company. Can't tell what brand of water this is. But if that's my link and I'm just like throwing it around the internet going, hey, it's a link, you should buy some stuff, then basically what you're doing is you're not differentiating yourself from any of the other affiliates that are also promoting that same thing. The other thing is when you are just doing that, you're looking very surface level at the solution, okay? And what I mean by that is you have the capacity as a marketer to create a more viable solution for your audience. So instead of just going, here's my link, buy my stuff, which probably works to be perfectly fair, but what you can do is elevate the perception of value around that very link and give your prospects a better solution to their problem. Meaning, guess what? Happier customers, higher conversion rates, less work on the actual sales process itself. And this is what we call creating an absolute no-brainer offer, right? So we start with that. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I might try and leave a link. That's about as fancy as my editing is going to be for this one. Around here somewhere there'll be a link to some offer creation stuff. Anyways, or actually I might leave did a 3 freaking days. It was massive on offer creation. I might leave that below Feel free to check that out if you're interested in taking a deep dive into the stuff. But anyway, to my point, that sits at the top of our mountains. First thing that we're going to look at. Having said that, of course, as we're thinking about how our offer solves problems for people, then we also need to be thinking about their problems, right? So, which is going to lead us to the next point, which is our customer avatar. Now, the cool thing is when you're doing high ticket coaching or high ticket affiliate marketing, things like that, you don't need to get into the nitty gritty of, he or she lives in this demographic, they are that age, and this is how much they earn, and this is their eye color, and that's what they like to do on the weekend, and this is the sports teams that they follow. You don't need to get to that nth degree of the psychographics. And the reason for that, and actually, let me back up for a sec. You can get into that level when you're looking at a large volume of consumers and what you're wanting to do through advertisements. It's such a tricky word. I was going to say advertising or advertisements, same. Is that you can get to the nth degree with the psychographics of your demographic. That is a lot to say in one sentence. And what you're effectively doing with that is it's going to allow you to target better, meaning that you're going to get higher click-through rates, you're going to get better lead quality coming through. It's going to be more targeted, which then means less ad spend, more revenue, build a great business as a result. So what I'm more referring to in this instance, though, is organic style marketing. That's where you're putting out this type of content. For me, I do most of my work over on Facebook via my Facebook group. Also have a very small email list, which is pretty engaged, and LinkedIn and Twitter a little bit of Instagram, and obviously the old tubes over here as well. Now, for yourself, if you're on, what do you call it? On Facebook, building groups and monetizing things like that, what you'll find is you don't need to get to the nth degree, especially if you are in high ticket affiliate marketing where you're promoting a product that is going to allow people to create life-changing income from the comfort of their own home. Because what tends to happen is, like, every single one of my customers, like, I've got thousands across a different range of products, but let's call it about 900-ish across two main programs that I'm a coach for. And the commonality between everyone is not height, eye color, this is where they live, blah, blah. We're represented by 64 countries, which is kind of cool. And people from all walks of life. I had 17-year-olds right up to late 60-year-olds jumping in and smashing it, right? So that isn't the important part. What the important part is understanding what is the common frustration, what is the common pain points, what is the common thing that people would prefer not to be doing anymore. And by contrast, what are their hopes and dreams? What would they like to do? What are they desiring to get out of life, especially at this particular chapter of their life, right? So I would always suggest spending some time taking a deep dive into who you want to serve as a brand. And that can change over time. It can blend, it can mold, whatever you want to call it. It does certainly change, or it can change if you want it to. But if we start to look at that, now going back from the top, circling back again, we've gone from the top of the mountain, our offer, we've started looking into our avatar, we've started to work out what their pain points are, what their frustrations, what their hopes and dreams are, all that type of stuff, which then brings me to now when we can start to look at how we can start to craft copy, right? So how we can start to identify what those pain points are and keep helping to overcome certain pain points, certain objections, certain things that are basically limitations in someone's mind, right? Pretty cool stuff. So what we need to do at this point is now consider what needs to be in place for a sale to be made. Okay, so starting at the top, who to thunk it, right? This is crazy. The solution needs to be fitting for their problem. Like, don't sell for the sake of selling. Don't sell just because you need to make a commission or a high ticket, like get a high ticket client. You need to make sure that what you have, whatever it is in your hand that you have, which is awesome, needs to be an appropriate solution for that person. And if it's not, guess what? There's a billion, trillion, million other people out there. Don't worry about it. Move on to the next one, right? Just don't stress. Don't try and force a square peg in a round hole. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, or the other way around. You get what I'm saying. So the customer also needs to see us as having expertise on the subject so as to be able to solve the problem, which would equate to having authority and credibility. Now, if you're relatively new in your journey, both as a coach or a high-ticket affiliate or a course creator, whatever you want to call yourself, and you're thinking, yeah, but I've done nothing, like I haven't even made any sales, or like, how do I do that thing? Well, have a look at what you are promoting, okay? And have a think about the results that have come from that particular thing that you are promoting. And hopefully, the person or people that have developed that product, hopefully they know some stuff, right? So hopefully they have had some sort of track record of doing this stuff. Hopefully, maybe even their students have also come out and got some pretty awesome results as well. Now, if that's the case, clearly you can leverage that. It's not saying, hey, look at me, I made all these sales. I did it. It was someone else. Just kidding. You don't do that. What you do is go, so happy to be part of this unique community. Look at the amazing results that are coming out of it. So happy to be part of this mentorship. You know, a mentor's able to do X, Y, Z. So happy to be part of it. If you'd like to have a chat about that, hit me up, right? So what's happening is you're the gatekeeper between that program and the prospects, right? Super cool. And eventually that leads to low ticket sales, leads to more confidence, leads to then eventually high ticket sales. Um, some form of social proof. Now, you don't need this necessarily. Like I've seen sales pages convert really, really well without any like social proof at all on them. Case in point is that I do master classes on a fairly regular basis, and this is where I sell out. They range from like $9 right up to $200 to $300 each. And effectively, because I will sell something before I will build it, I'm not relying on that social proof. Having said that, if you're an affiliate marketer and you're like wondering how you start to build some level of authority, some level of clout, credibility, etc., then what you can do really simply is start to build social proof. And the way that you might do that is say to someone that you're communicating with, hey, someone that I'm communicating with, I think I can help you out with that problem that you just mentioned before. I think, or at least be able to clarify a couple of things. Happy to talk you through it, but is it cool if in exchange just give me a testimonial? Does that work for you? Yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, bang. Get them on a call, get a testimonial, get some social proof, right? And again, coming back to the idea of a program, hopefully that the people inside the program are getting some level of results from it, whatever it may be. In which case, you can start to leverage that. And again, it's not taking that and saying, "Oh, look at me and all the results I've been able to get." You don't need to do that. What you can do is basically take the results and leverage that. Like, look at the awesome results that are coming from it. This one case study alone, this person was able to go from zero to $10,000 in just 49 days, which is as a result from one of my program. I'm pretty happy about that one. Value. Clearly, if something is not valuable, no one's going to buy it, right? So it needs to have a ton of value behind it. And ideally, and this is a little bit harder if you're an affiliate, but ideally what you want to do is minimize the risk factor for the buyer, right? Minimize the risk factor. If you're a coach, you own the product, course creator, etc. You can do things like offer refund policies. You can offer, pay, no money down, pay later. You can have results-based guarantees on the back of it. You can have, like I say, refund policies based on having to meet certain KPIs along the way. You can also have things such as I will work with you until, meaning that look, if you jump into this program and in the next sort of 90 to 120 days, if you're not absolutely obliterating your online goals, then I'll continue working with you until you like 2x or 10x your investment. How's that? Cool. All right, nice. As an affiliate, you might find that a little bit harder because you don't control the cart page, but you can still add your own risk minimization by using that last example that I gave. Like, hey, if we work together, what I'll do is I'll help you out along the way. And you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, doesn't that defeat the purpose of being an affiliate? No, and here's why. So making a high ticket sale is great. To give you some indication, at the time of recording, my core accelerated program is $3,500, right? So as an affiliate, you would make $1,750, being, I think that's 50% of the total. Hopefully, I'm on the right track there. Here's the thing: if one of my affiliates, refers someone to that, that's cool. Good on them. Happy that they're able to do that. Okay, and then they get $1,750. So I look after them and take care of customer service. I add new stuff to the program. I coach them, help them out, blah, blah, blah. And they all have done is send a person over there and they get $1,750. Now, here's something for you. If you, doesn't matter even if it's a low ticket thing, doesn't matter. If you look after these people and you help them out as best as you can without like over delivering and all that type of stuff, right? and they have a positive buying experience from you, they are 60 to 70% more likely to buy based on your recommendations in future. Right? Go look that one up. It was a survey done from Adobe, I think it was. 60 to 70% more likely, right? So it pays because over time, you have lifetime customer value. And it might mean that you go through this process, you sell a whole bunch of stuff a whole bunch of people into this program. And then you're like, actually, you know what? I've got a bit of experience. I'm 2 or 3 years into it by now. I've sold at least 100 plus people into this thing. I know what to do. This is all cool. I think I've got a unique method. I've got a unique angle. I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to become a coach now, right? And so once you've got that experience and you're ready and you're able and you're out there and you're doing the stuff, now guess what? You've got ready-made buyers. You looked after them. Hey, by the way, looking to get a couple of beta students for this new thing I'm launching. You want to check it out? Oh my God, I love you. Thank you so much for looking after me all these years. Yes, 100%. Bang, all of a sudden, lifetime customer value has just increased. Okay? And then you might have those on your upper level one-on-one stuff later on, so on and so forth. KLT, know, like, and trust. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken, right? Not everyone is going to like me. I'm completely cool with that. I don't really mind. Some people are. They're going to go, this guy's freaking awesome, or he's batshit crazy, but I like him anyway. Because he obviously knows some stuff, right? So that's KLT. So, based on the above, what can we use to then put into our copy based on that stuff? And so I would argue that one of the biggest, I probably need to reword that. In fact, let's just reword it right now. Biggest part, one of the biggest parts. I don't know why I sound like a pirate then. I crack me up. That's the main thing. One of the biggest parts is busting false assumptions and removing the burden of process. So what the hell am I meaning by that? So number one is busting false assumptions. If I say to you, hey, affiliate marketing. Now, so many people, unless you've been in my world for 5 seconds, then you'll probably know a little bit more about my sort of ideas and whatnot. But for everyone else, one of the misconceptions is, which is obviously a false assumption, is you need a funnel to get started in affiliate marketing. You need a website, right? You must, like, it's online, you must need a website. I don't know how to code a website. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know about this whole funnel business. Like, it feels complex. I've been working on one for a while. It's this new software that I have to learn. And so if I come along and I say, well, you don't need a funnel to get started. Like, you can just do it all through like a Facebook group. It's what I teach. It's what I do. It's what hundreds of students have done before you. It works. There's plenty of room. There's billions of people on Facebook alone. And that's just one community. I mean, imagine if you went on to something else like school, or you went on to Twitter or like LinkedIn or like Instagram or something. You can still build a community in these places as well. You don't really need to have a funnel. You just have a really good offer that helps that person out, and you create a bit of authority and you prove in advance you can solve this stuff. It's not making sales. No, it's not. A few more little secret sauce sprinkles and amongst it other than that, but you get my point. So whatever false assumption people have, do you need to start an email list? It helps. I would recommend it at some point. Don't need to start with one, right? And so that's the false assumption part. And what you ideally want to do is go through your list of things in your program that are being removed as a result of the program itself, right? Hopefully it is teaching something that is removing something from these false assumptions. The burden of process. So my client acquisition process, for example, I'm able to close anywhere from basically 1 in 6 people tend to become customers of mine. So if someone enters my Facebook group, they go, oh my God, this guy's awesome. Here's some cash. I love you. Here's some cash. It's not quite like that, but basically it is an astronomically high conversion rate into becoming a customer. And for me, yes, I'm a high ticket affiliate marketer and coach, but here's the crazy thing. Coming back to what I said before, lifetime customer value, I'm also selling things that meet that person where they are, right? So I'm selling things that are $9, selling things that are $27, I'm selling things that are $200, selling things that are $500. 1,000, 2,000, 12,000, right? All sorts of range of things to help people out on different levels, on different financial levels, things like that as well. Because guess what? LTV, lifetime customer value. If I can get someone in at $9 and they are 60 to 70% more likely to buy from me again, based on that, based on my recommendation, it's pretty good, right? Now, burden of process. What am I removing by saying that I convert 1 in 6 people? You don't need to have a huge audience. There are people that have had literally 30 or 40 people in their communities and made 3 or 4 thousand bucks just off that. Had another person that had less than 100 people in her group and made over $10,000, right? Like you don't need a huge freaking audience. So that's coming out to false assumptions, another one. But it's also removing the burden of process, because the burden of process would assume that you need a big audience to make a ton of money. And you don't. You need a tiny audience that's engaged in what you're doing, right? Burden of process. Other things, like you don't need a funnel, you don't need an email list, you literally just need social media. You're probably playing on it for half a day, every day, anyway, so you might as well just use that to go and make some cash, right? So if you're starting to put this type of stuff in your copy, and that's that the end goal for you is to promote that type of thing, then of course it cannot not help imprint that into your audience, right? Pretty cool stuff. Removing objections, which is pretty much the same as above. Potential objections are, I don't want to invest in myself. I don't want to spend $5,000 or $10,000 on an online program. Well, that's really weird, because most people go to college without even blinking and cost them however much, right? And again, guess what? There's no guarantees on the other side. There's no guarantee you're going to get a job that pays you 100K on the back of that. People do it. It's been done for centuries. Like, that's a bit weird. And it's odd that people jump into the online world and they have that attitude, like everything online should be free. Because, yeah, there's a plethora of information out there. This is free information. Some of you are learning some stuff as we speak. Like, this is pretty cool, right? So therefore, people that have that mindset where they don't want to invest in themselves, they can take a slow way. They're going to take a long way around to then eventually realize that in order to have organized information with the appropriate guides and templates and led from someone that has been through that pathway before, rather than trying to piecemeal everything together, it's going to be a lot quicker for their monetization and growth and understanding and having that support along the way. Right. So therefore, I just handled an objection. Some people are going to think about that, go, oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually. Getting folks to see us as an authority expert on a given topic. It helps with the sales process. If you have authority, it takes the burden off your offer creation, off your sales process, off your copywriting, off your content game, absolutely everything, because you already have that. And if you want evidence of this, have a look at celebrities. They sell freaking anything. Kardashians sell anything they want. Like literally, hey, I've just got this new line of, I don't know, sunscreen made out of like real monkeys or whatever it is, right? Like, they can sell anything because they've got authority. People would buy that. They go, hey, we've just launched a space travel brand called the Thingy. Did you want to buy some shares? People would buy it, right? They don't know anything about space, to the best of my knowledge. That's my point. And so if we have even a tiny degree of that, then it's going to help with that process as well, right? And so the way that we can do things like that is by helping people in advance, right? Really simple. Create something that helps someone out with no expectation of return, and you'll find that will work massively. Getting actual real life results for yourself, and then eventually by extension your students, and then by extension their students, that can help as well. Having things like awards helps. Lifestyle itself helps, right? If you're living in a nice place and you got good stuff happening, or you're traveling, whatever, helps. Getting to folks to know us. So, interestingly, my videos, this one in particular, it's not going to end up. I'm not going to generate a whole bunch of new leads from it. Like, there's not going to be a whole bunch of people that see this boring talking through a thingy Google Doc sheet with information on it. Not really that many people are going to go, fuck, this guy knows his stuff, I want to follow along. Those that do, kudos to you, by the way. Why am I saying that, though? Because this helps me, the people that are already in my audience, I'm deepening that relationship. This allows you to spend more time with me and go, that guy is a little bit crazy, but he knows his shit. And he's sold a bunch of stuff. And so therefore I should probably take note of what he's saying because it might just help me out with my business. Might. Right? And so that is me decreasing the time it takes for you as my audience to get to know me. Okay, hopefully this is making sense, right? But you can do that in your copy as well, not just the video content. Consider what tasks someone doesn't want to do or doesn't need to do in order to join. So for me, like I say, don't need funnels, don't need to build an email list straight away. Don't need to, you can build a funnel eventually. You've got training in there for it, but you don't need to. Likewise with email marketing, you don't need to jump onto that straight away. Something that you build your building blocks in layers, right? You don't just dump everything together and hope it works. It's about doing it sequentially. So what else is there? Unique mechanism. Why is your situation and your thing more unique? Well, for me, basically, I show folks how to build a powerful personal brand that's highly sustainable through communities, with a community-based selling system. What that allows me to do is close as many as 1 in 6 people into customers in as little as 27 hours, right? And that is usually off between 5 and 8 touch points in my audience. Kind of crazy when you think about that. So someone sees me, and then I follow up with them, maybe in DMs. Sometimes they just absorb my stuff and buy things naturally, which is kind of cool. And then within about 5 to 8 of those, we're communicating and I'm helping them solve their problems. And all of a sudden, I'm making cash. They're getting their problems resolved. They're also then making cash. Good times, right? Unique mechanism. See your opportunity as the only viable solution. This comes from the depth of relationship you have with your audience, the uniqueness of it, the results that are coming out of the program or whatever it is that you're trying to promote or that you can deliver, and also timing. Like don't dismiss this. It doesn't get talked enough about in what we do. And I'll give you a really good example. Is that I was on a call with someone a while back. They were trying to pitch me something, and just shitty timing. Couldn't do it. Like literally couldn't. Just 1,000 different reasons. Just couldn't do it. And basically, they couldn't accept that. It was really funny. Couldn't accept that, and they went off in a huff and puff and whatnot. And they, I don't know, think I wasted their time, which I certainly didn't. I would have purchased if they weren't such a dick about it later on, right? But timing wasn't good, and so therefore, that's just something you need to bear in mind. Raising authority, basically from the results of what you're promoting or your own authority based on who you are, like how you're helping people, your own student results if you're looking to teach stuff at some point as well. All these things can help. And so once we consider what we need to write in our content, just as a kind of an overview there, we start to break down the key components we need to repeat to establish ourselves as the go-to pathway for your customers, right? And so a lot of this comes back to visibility with your customers as well. And so based on that, and bear in mind, like literally, I made this up myself. I would encourage you to take what I'm talking about here and have a think through this. Like build out your own that resonates for you. Like what is the key messages you want to get across? So this is just something I put together. And like I say, this is all hypothetical. You treat it however you want, right? So I just started the week and I haven't even put the days on there just because, again, it's one of those things where like over a course of 7 days, if you've got these things in here, it's going to help. So mindset, positioning, and audience training. So audience training is basically where, if someone meets you for the first time, most of us humans, we have our best hat on. We're best behavior, best hat. Don't know why I said hat. Best behavior. And we're being nice, we're being friendly, we're being ourselves, hopefully, but we're also like a little bit more reserved. We're not as vocal, we're not as relaxed, right? And so over time, if one of the things you want to establish is that you have very strong boundaries, and that if you've purchased a low ticket item off me, then I've got a support desk waiting for you. You can go and email those. It's not an appropriate thing to DM me about a low ticket thing, right? Because I'm not the customer support. You need to contact them. And so even though that sounds like I'm being a bit of a dick, I'm looking after my time through that, by the way. But what's also doing is that people know to respect my boundaries. They know to respect my time and energy. So therefore, they're going to follow suit and go and follow the protocol, right? Because I just won't answer them. I'll say, cool, send an email here, thanks, type stuff. Authority, always need to be building this at every opportunity you can. So these come from things like student results from your program, your own results, like things like, for example, getting inbound leads or outbound leads, either way, just getting leads, audience growth, things like that. Like, hey, I've increased my audience by 78% over the last 2 weeks. Want to learn how. Implied authority. And so implied authority is when you start using very specific language patterns into your written and verbal content. And so if you guys were to go back through this video, what you'll hear is that I've spoken about my awards. That's an implied authority. I've spoken about having 900 students, which is an implicit authority behind that. I've talked about having sold millions of dollars worth of stuff online. I've talked about my programs. I've even started putting in boundaries in place, which again, like it has an implication of authority behind that. The thing that you guys can do, depending on where you're at in your journey, but you can use implicit language around what you're selling and what you have sold. So, for example, one of the things I would say is one of the reasons why when I'm selling my one-on-one packages, people are more than happy to part ways with over $7,500 to $12,000 without even blinking, and usually with a handful of very basic questions, is because they see the value in what I'm giving them, and they know I can get them results. Right, so that's me talking about the implication of that. Another one is reason why my students get incredible results is because they have a systemized process in place that they go through, which is going to allow them to attract leads and gain authority and help sell on the level of that person, help them sell something that is going to help them out, which is why, like I say, my process will close usually between about 1 and 6 people will become a customer at some point. Pretty cool stuff, right? There's also an implied authority right there. And again, I'd hammer the authority next day or value, interchange those values. So these are things like free stuff. I might drop this video in my group at some point, bit of free stuff. Someone's going to go through it and go, man, this is actually really cool, because I'm not just giving you the here's what you should do, which everyone wants, but the people that are still watching at this point, I know that you are thinking about this stuff and going, yeah, this is cool. How do I formulate something that works for me and my schedule? What else can I put in there? Because I do need to have these things in place. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now I'm expanding your consciousness about how you think about things as well. And so I know that is only going to appeal to a very, very, very small subset of an audience, right? Because not even, like, most people just want, hey, just give me the guide. I don't care about thinking about having to do that stuff. I just want to know what works to get the money. Whereas this is actually the stuff that's going to work to get money. You thinking about things like this in order to be able to be a better marketer, right? Bait posts, really simple. If you're going on Facebook, for example, it'd be like, here's my 3-step process for acquiring customers in less than 2 hours a day, right? Full training, something like that. That's a bait post. People will go, yep, me, bang, whole bunch of leads, easy. Free lead magnets. Whatever you've got as a lead magnet. Could be a video, could be a guide, template, PDF, whatever you want. Don't be afraid to pitch. Something that I see both coaches and more specifically affiliates, they're kind of just out there, they're putting out content and they're like, sure, well, traction marketing's got to kick in at any stage, right? And the thing is, you've got to make sure that you're inviting people to be part of your opportunity at all times. If you're not, and you're just building up value, that can work. But the downfall of that is, who's going to know what you're selling? How's anyone meant to see your offer, right? If there's a disconnect between the leads and your offer, it's disconnect, right? Value, again, so think about things like, what are you removing? That might be another day, and then perhaps something on sales and copy on another day, and that's it. Could be the entire breakdown. Now, last thing I'll go through real quickly here is one of the things to bear in mind is giving yourself a type of framework to follow in order to basically sell stuff through your post, especially when it comes to positioning value content. And so really quickly, and I just realized I have a doctor's appointment I need to go to right now. So really quickly, a hook relating to a core problem someone is having. how to achieve X without Y is usually a really big one. 3 ways to double your X without Y. Oh, that sounded so weird. Whatever the big hook is, doesn't always have to be as dramatic as that, but that's kind of where you're aiming. What is showing up due to that problem, right? So what is actually happening? Like if you've got basically the core problem someone's facing, and what is actually showing up in their life, in their business, in their relationships, whatever it is, as part of that problem itself, right? Next part is a story relating to that, because we all relate to stories. And it could be, for example, and I'll give you guys an example here really quickly. Hook relating to the core problem, really, really basic. How to build a multi-six-figure business without funnels or complex tech. Big, huge hook. And so therefore I'm implying there's a problem with funnels and complex tech. I get the irony, like it is more about building it in layers. And what problem is showing up? Let me guess, you've been out there struggling to get this funnel to work for months now. You don't know how to glue all the pieces together. And basically, I can relate to you. Back when I got started, I was trying to be everywhere at once. I had a multitude of different funnels I was building. And what tends to happen is this is how the industry is taught, right? So this is the story of what causes it. That's how the industry is taught. You get overwhelmed with all this information. You need to be on every traffic source. And the reality is the thing that's going to solve that is focusing on one offer, high ticket, one method of conversion, and one platform to start with. And if you'd like to know the simple process I've been using in order to attract more leads and buyers through a simple Facebook group, drop a comment below. I'll reach out for some info, see if it's the right fit for us. Call to action. Anyway, folks, that's all I've got time for today. Really appreciate you tuning in. Drop a comment below, let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for other videos and give it a little like. I love that. Massively appreciated. See you guys in the next